aren't scared to be a little different.
Gotta love the three-man wave. My favorite drill. I've done it everywhere. We started at New Hampshire, and then people were just like, are you doing the three? Yeah, we're doing the three-man wave. You never know when you need it. Hey, if it was good enough for Red Auerbach and the Boston Celtics, it's good enough for us.
Chip Kelly might not light up any victory cigars, but just like Red, he wants his team to get out and play fast.
Okay. Let's just play at our tempo. They force them to play at our speed, okay?
Okay. Let's make sure we play at our tempo right now. Let's go as fast as we can. Let's get that tempo, make him calls, execute. Let's gas him. Set, go!
And he completes it down at the 30, and he's got Riley Cooper on a crossing pattern.
The pace is just so difficult. When you get out and you start feeling like you're on your heels defensively, you just don't get a chance to regroup.
Here we go. Set, go.
He's rolling. He's got Cooper inside the 20, makes the catch at the 16.
Y'all keep that tempo going. Keep that tempo going.
After struggling on the ground all season, the Eagles finally sprung their all-pro tailback loose.
This is the kind of thing you fear. If they get this running game going, Philadelphia Eagles will be difficult to stop.
The guys up front is blowing off the ball the whole entire game. Chip did a great job today, too, of calling the plays. He got me so many one-on-one opportunities.
One way Kelly got McCoy the ball in space was with misdirection, moving the offensive line one way and McCoy the other, leaving him with one-on-one matchups.
Kansas out of the way of one man. Comes to the 30. Comes to the 35. Run out of bounds at the 40. What's wrong with Shady McCoy?
Nothing.
The answer in one word, nothing.
Hey, keep running hard, baby. That's what's opening everything up, is y'all running. Set, go.
Rolls the tailback. Play fake. Little bootleg right.
Foles and Kelly had the Giants off balance
Wide open Casey for the touchdown.
and were faking them out of their shoes.
It's a beautifully designed play, perfectly executed.
Yeah! Here we go!
A little boot action by Nick Foles.
There we go, Dave! There we go!
The play fake to Sproles got the Giants safeties moving in one direction, with the Eagles tight ends moving in another. Foles found James Casey with a clear path to the end zone.
You just get the sense that when Chip Kelly gets it going like this, there's nothing he can't call.
Good play calling there, coach.
Man, that was a mean spike he had.
I missed it.
Dude, it went about 20 yards in there. I've been waiting to see that since I got here. James Casey spike.
A touchdown spike is great. Losing the player who helped set it up is not.
Sproulsy, go! Sproulsy, go! Sproulsy, go!
He gives it off again, and this time it is Sproles fighting his way to midfield, where he runs into Kuhn at the 50-yard line.
Oh! What the hell? Man, get off him! You good?
Sometimes when you get stuck in those piles and your legs get folded underneath you, see him grabbing for that knee.
You see that?
I did.
Can't bend the dude backwards. Yeah, well, call something on him. You can't bend the guy backwards and break his leg. You can't bend the guy backwards.
I know that.
This guy is a special dude right here.
I know.
You know who knew that? That pisses me off. That's my teammate.
We're okay. We're okay.
That's cool. Yeah, that's cool.
We're all right.
They can't stop us. Let's shove it down the throat like we've been doing. Let's go. Here we go.
He's going to die for it?
Yeah.
That was a great ball, bro. Great ball.
Their most complete game in years as they beat the New York Giants 27-0.
Culture wins football. Cultural big screen every day.
The first time the bouncer hit, they got louder.
Yeah.
That last one,
Dude, do you have earwax in your ears?
Yeah, you should run.
you know why?
See a doctor.
You know why? It's because I'm directly in front of you,
Yeah.
and I have nothing to let that sound.
Maybe if I go with like a higher screeching voice, like,
That's it.
you'd recognize it. I got it.
Boys, let's go. Let's get in the locker room. Let's play.
Well, it is Halloween week 2014, and Halloween is my favorite. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and it's always been my favorite holiday. And as you saw from the beginning of this video, I do tend to go all out for Halloween and deck the house out. And actually going to a Halloween party tonight. So with some of my good buddies, such as the Captain, Jason, and Mark M. Shout out to Mark M. Looking forward to that. Today is Saturday, October 25th. Of course, Halloween comes on Friday, and really looking forward to that. And as you saw, like I said from the beginning of the video, you saw some of the decorations. I go pretty crazy for Halloween. I always have a lot of fun. And I do want to give a quick shout out here at the beginning, for this video, to one of my watchers and subscribers, to Jonathan 131075. Wanted to make sure I got that name correct. He had asked, fan of the series, and said if I can show some of the Halloween decor, I've done in other years past during my other series, which is the throwback jersey collecting. But so I certainly, obliged to that, and went ahead and did that. So hope you enjoyed that, and again, shout out to you. Thank you for the support for the channel, and I have a lot of fun making these videos, whatever the series is. But of course, this is Season of the Fan 2014-15 Philadelphia Eagles, and the Eagles are coming off the bye week. This week, they, of course, when we last saw them, what I also showed at the top of this video was some of the highlights from that week 6 win against the New York Football Giants, the 27-0 win. That was actually from a really good series, really good show that's on the NBC Sports Network. It's called NFL Turning Point. And the cool thing about that is you see like highlights of the game, and they have like mic'd up players and coaches and stuff. And as you saw, Chip Kelly and Nick Foles were mic'd up during for that NFL Films did that for the NFL Turning Point. Part for that anyhow. And it was really cool. So I thought I'd get that on film and put that to this video too. But yes, the Eagles coming off that shutout win a couple weeks ago, and 5-1. The Cardinals are 5-1 after beating the Raiders in Oakland last week. Both teams are playing really well. Obviously, they have the same records at 5-1. The Eagles have never won at University of Phoenix Stadium. One of the worst losses, of course, came in the 2008 NFC title game, where they lost to Kurt Warner and the Cardinals. Cardinals went to the Super Bowl, where they lost to the Steelers. But it was certainly it's certainly been speaking of Halloween, it's certainly been a house of horrors for the Eagles over the years. They lost there then. They lost a few years ago to former Eagle Kevin Cobb as quarterback. In that stadium, the Eagles just got blown apart in that game. But that was a season where the Eagles only won 4 games, so you take it what it was. Now that was then. This is now. Chip Kelly's the coach now. It's a whole different ball of wax, and the Eagles looking to continue to go in the winning ways. Tough game. Cardinals are always tough to beat at home, at least in recent times. They play really good there. They do have some injuries on defense. Their defense, though, still is formidable. They're really good against the run. And when you think of the Cardinals, you also think of their receivers, too, because their receivers have done some pretty good things over the years. Larry Fitzgerald, of course, first comes to mind, and then you got Floyd. And young rookie Brown, who looks pretty good too, out of Pittsburgh State. It's a good team. Ellington, the running back, it's a good team. Carson Palmer, of course, at quarterback. I actually played the game because on the Xbox, because I've been kind of going through the Eagles season week to week. And the Eagles won 35-28. So if that's any indication, it was a duel in the desert. It was a shootout, and the Eagles came away with the victory, at least in the Xbox format. Won that game there in gamer world. But in the real world, the real life, of course, these two teams will play tomorrow. It's a 4:30 kickoff for Eastern time zone, and so it's a bit of a late game. And the Eagles, like I said, coming off a shutout win against the Giants, their defense really played well. Another thing that was really, good about that game is the offensive line played really good. Had one of their best games, if not their best game of the season. Shady McCoy looked really good. The running game looked really good. The Eagles should also be getting Michael Kendricks, starting linebacker, back from injury since week 2 in this game, and they may also get Sproles back. Now, Sproles got hurt late in the win against the Giants a couple weeks ago, and he's like a questionable status for this game against the Cardinals. May even be a game-time decision. But either way, it should be a really good game. One of the things that I'm hoping happens in this game is that Nick Foles, has a good game start to finish. I mean, he's been... the Eagles are 5-1, and one of the big reasons why they're 5-1 is because their special teams has played really good. Their defense has played really good. Getting turnovers, like against the Giants. I mean, sacking Eli Manning 8 times. And they've gotten pressure on the opposing quarterbacks. They've done a really good job. Their front four has been really good. Stopping the run, getting pressure on the quarterback. Their linebacker plays played well. The secondary has been a bit, besides for Jenkins, who's been awesome in the secondary. But hey, they got the shutout against the Giants when the Giants were playing pretty good. Going into that game, they got the shutout on them, and now they take it on the road. And I'm hoping that Nick Foles can put it together because the first 6 games, there have been times that he's looked really good, and there's been times he's been really shaky. You can say that about a lot of quarterbacks in the league. But, Nick, with a lot kind of expectations. Now, obviously, we knew going into this season he's not going to throw 27 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. That's just not going to happen. But some of the mistakes he's made, and particularly in the red zone offense really needs to get going for this team. A couple weeks ago, one of the turnovers was in the red zone. Interception, just a bad pass. Picked off. I believe it was Roll who picked that one off. Just a bad pass, bad decision. And, Nick is a better quarterback than that. He's got to make better decisions. And one of the things that I do believe will help him, even though the Cardinals are pretty good, they're pretty stout against the run, their defense, one of the things that I think could help Nick Foles is if the running game can pick up where it left off against the Giants. That was their first really complete, good, rushing effort, start to finish during the season. The offensive line, even with the injuries, have now started getting, they got Lane Johnson back a few weeks ago. They're starting to get that cohesiveness with the new guys that came in because of injuries. And they looked really good they looked awesome against the Giants. And Shady looked awesome. I was like, hey, this is the Shady we were waiting for. But that being said, I do believe, even though the Cardinals are pretty good against the run, if the Eagles can get a good running game going again, it just opens up so many things, as we all know, for the passing game. And the Cardinals, as good as they are against the run, they're not very good against the pass. Now, that's statistically. So, you can take statistics and you know what with them, because they don't always tell the whole story, and I understand that. But that being said, there's still plays to be made against their secondary, and hopefully Nick Foles can start to, get to that form that he was looking at that he was looking like last year, and limit the turnovers, and certainly do better in the red zone. The Eagles' offense really needs to get going in the red zone. I mean, they really do. It's been a bit of a struggle for them. Obviously, the San Francisco game was lost because they couldn't score in the red zone towards the end. And they've had their issues. They have like a couple turnovers in the red zone this season, and last year they were really good in the red zone. And obviously, a good part of that is because they were able to run the ball really well. And but guys need to step up. I know Riley Cooper had a couple of drops. Just a little pop up there. Sorry. I know Riley Cooper's had a couple drops in the end zone, and he admitted to that this past week on Sports Talk Radio. Said he's got to do a better job, and it's true. He was one of their good top targets in the red zone last season. Want to see more out of the tight ends in the red zone, perhaps. I'd also like to see. I've said this for a few weeks now. Probably won't see it this week, but going forward, when they get Sproles back completely healthy, I'd like to see him split out somewhere as a receiver, him and McCoy at the same backfield. I just think that opens up so many things. And Chip Kelly being the offensive genius that he is, I'm sure he's already thought of this, but you want to see them do that a little more. Not to the point where they have risk of injuries, but you want to see both McCoy and Sproles. They're just such big weapons. To have both of them back there at the same time, I think, just kind of causes a few quakes to the defense, So that would be good to see. But I do believe Nick will have a better game. He played most of his collegiate career in Arizona, and I know it wasn't exactly in the same stadium, but he was an Arizona Wildcat going back to the Phoenix area for this game. And I do with the week off and all, I do believe he'll have a good game. I'm calling for about three to four touchdown passes from him. That's just my opinion. That's what I'm saying right now on Saturday before the game. I'm calling for about at least three touchdowns from him and have a better game. Maybe no turnovers, something like that. As far as the game itself, I do believe the Eagles can win. I do believe the Eagles will win. I do believe that this is going to be between the two quarterbacks. Somewhat like it was in my game on Xbox a few days ago. I do believe it's going to be a battle of the two quarterbacks. And like I said, I do believe Nick Foles is going to have a better game. And that being said, even though Carson Palmer hasn't turned the ball over a lot this season, now he's been hurt. Now he came off injury last week in a win against Oakland. But I do believe the Eagles can get the front four can get some linebackers. They can get some pressure on Palmer. They can make some mistakes, let him not be comfortable there in the pocket. Because he is a pocket quarterback. He is the definition, like Nick Foles, of a pocket quarterback. You don't have to really worry about him running all over. So I do believe if they can get the pressure on him, like they did last year, the game in Philadelphia that I was at, and he threw 2 interceptions in that game, I do believe of the two quarterbacks, Palmer will throw the picks. That's just opinion. That's what I'm calling for. I think Palmer will throw, maybe a late fourth quarter interception, gives the ball back to the Eagles. Maybe the Eagles have a lead at the time. I see the Eagles are going to win this game by 10 points. I believe so. Hey, first time for everything, and it's finally time for my Eagles to win at University of Phoenix Stadium. Okay, to exercise some of those demons. Ooh, some of those Cardinals demons, and win at University of Phoenix Stadium for the first time in franchise history. It's time to win there. And I do believe the Eagles will do it, and like I said, I believe they'll win by at least 10. It's good, coming off a bye week, they're fresh, getting some guys back healthy, like Michael Kendricks. Good to see that, and so we'll see. As far as the game itself, I probably won't be filming too much. I'm going to actually be at my dad's tomorrow for a bit, and so I don't know exactly when I'll be back here, so I don't know where I'm going to be able to film or if I'm going to be able to film, but I'll certainly have my post-game report. And so as always, go Birds. Let's go Eagles, I should say, this week, because there are 2 bird teams playing. But the Eagles will hopefully get that win. Like I said, I'm calling for at least a 10-point win, and the Eagles get it done. So that's my little pregame X and O's, if you will, and I'll see you after the game. Go Eagles! Yeah, no light up hat today. Eagles go down 24-20. They're 5-2. They lose to the Cardinals. They still can't win at University of Phoenix Stadium for some reason. Tough game, hard-fought game. Came down to the last few possessions, and the Eagles go down 24-20. Now, all the stuff I said pregame, those are my keys to the game. And then one of the things I said was I didn't think Nick Foles was going to turn the ball over. And he goes ahead and throws 2 interceptions, 2 crucial interceptions, 2 drive-killing interceptions. Now, I said before the season I'm going to reserve my judgment on Nick Foles until the season goes through completely. But, you know, they had over 500 yards of offense, but you only scored 20 points. And part of the reason is because this offense, for whatever reason, still can't function in the red zone. They make too many red zone mistakes. In their 2 losses, both on the road, against San Francisco and against the Cardinals, the Eagles had a chance to win the game, or at least, in this case, get the lead on the goal line. Basically on a goal line situation. Short yardage situation. And they cough it up both times. They can't do it. Can't get the first down in this, or even the touchdown in this case. San Francisco couldn't get the touchdown. And to me, it's just, it's unacceptable. And I know, look, defenses are going to make plays. Defenses are paid too. They have to make plays too, particularly at home. But it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable that this team cannot function in the red zone. It's unacceptable that when they get to the goal line, they seem to outthink themselves. You have Nick Foles overthrowing receivers. You have Nick Foles in those 2 situations. Here we are, you know, in Arizona, San Francisco, throwing the ball out of the end zone. The case tonight on 4th down. Now, I understand he was under some duress that the Cardinals brought a blitz. They gambled. There were 2 open receivers in the end zone, in the corner of the end zone. You had Zach Ertz and you had Jordan Matthews. Matthews, the ball was intended for him. He was there. I mean, he was there to make the play. It's just Nick threw it out of the corner of the end zone out of bounds. And he's a young quarterback, and that's the thing that people have to remember. He is a young quarterback, but you can only go on that for so long. And I was sitting there going after the Cardinals, you know, got the lead. There was a little over a minute to go. I said, all right, Nick, now it's your turn. This is your moment. This is your chance to win a game. To bring the Eagles back and to win a game. And couldn't do it. I thought the referees were atrocious in this game, honestly. I think there was way too many penalties. And I also think they missed some penalties. And I'm not blaming this game on the refs, okay? I'm not going to do that. The Eagles didn't make the plays that they needed to make at the end to win. The referees were horrible, garbage. They're too old. I don't even understand that crew there. Just horrible. They need to just retire and stay in Arizona, okay? It's awful. They called some picks on the Eagles offense. They missed one on the Cardinals that set up the Larry Fitzgerald touchdown. They missed a horse collar on Riley Cooper on the last possession. And I don't care, Rondé Barber can say all he wants that wasn't a horse collar. Guess what, Rondé? You never liked the Eagles anyhow. I don't expect anything else from you. Saying something against the Eagles, oh, that can't go the Eagles' way. That was an absolute horse collar on Riley Cooper on the last possession. Now, again, look, they lose the game, they lose the game. But that's 15 yards. Maybe it doesn't have to come down to that type of passing situation. Maybe it's an easier pass to make at the end. Awful officiating. Flow of the game, just awful. Awful. But again, I'm not blaming this game on the officials. No way. Am I saying that I'm doing that? But it was an awful officiating crew today. Just horrible. Too old. Retire. Very disappointing. A disappointing game. Their 2 losses were against teams that are playoff caliber teams. These are games that can come back to bite them. Obviously, look, they're still 5-2. They go to Houston next week. It's not going to be an easy game. I'll get into the Houston game next week. But I'd rather be 5-2 than 2-5. But at the same point, it's to who you lose to. And San Francisco is a team that's a tie-break situation. They can come back to bite them. The Arizona game is a tie-break situation, come back to bite them. It's how they lose. And it's like, they got to get better in the red zone. They got to get better in the goal line situation. You had 3rd and less than a yard to get. 4th, and less than a yard to get. You got to get that yard. You have to find a way. And, you know, they're overthinking it. Chip Kelly's going in the shotgun on third, and she's like, what? You have to just quarterback sneak it. You know, you have less than a yard. Even if he doesn't get the touchdown, he can get the first down. You know, and okay, then you got a new set of downs. You can use up some more clock, score a touchdown later. Okay, I'll take that. This is the play calling. What the hell was that? You're in the shotgun on third and less than a yard? Really? Really? Come on, man. I don't even do that in Madden. Are you kidding me? I'm going for it. You know, it's disappointing. You know, but this is what being an Eagles fan is. We have to put up with these type of games that just drive us crazy. And they do it to us all the time. But we're back every week. So anyhow, I got to make this short, you know. Don't have a lot of memory here on my phone. And I'm filming this on my phone. My post-game rant in this case. Eagles lose at 24-20 to the Arizona stinking Cardinals. Again, we can't win at University of Phoenix Stadium. Damn it. But, the shout out to the fans that went to that game. You know, Philadelphia, all the fans on the West Coast, all the other fans that made it there. I definitely heard you guys on TV during, you know, when Arizona had the ball, when the Eagles had the ball, cheering. You guys were making some great noise there. You guys did Eagle Nation very proud. I wish the team could have gotten a win for you guys. I know it's a heartbreak. That was a gut punch game right there, the way it ended. And I really wish that you guys could have seen a win. But you guys did a great job out there cheering the Eagles. Saw a bunch of Eagle fans on TV. Eagle fans know how to travel, that's for sure. You just remember that, rest of the country. Eagle fans know how to travel. We know how to make our voices heard, whether they're from Philly or from other states, other parts of the world. I know there's some fans from Scotland out there. Shouts to all you guys. You guys did us really proud tonight. Wish you could have gotten a win, but you guys certainly did a great job. Did a better job than Chip Kelly did there on the goal line situation, but that's for another day. Eagles lose it 24-20 to the Cardinals. Next week it's at Houston against the Texans, and I'll get into that game as we get into week 9, I believe it will be. You know, heartbreak tonight, gut punch game. Like I said, the way it ended, it was certainly rough, but Eagles just couldn't get it done in the end. But you know, you come back next week. Hopefully they can beat the Texans. And I'll be certainly cheering them on, as I know the rest of Eagles Nation will be too. We'll talk about this week. We'll analyze the game. We'll break it all down. And then we'll get ready for the Houston Texans. Another road game for the Eagles. I know Eagle fans will be traveling there too. But anyhow, Eagles lose 24-20 to the Cardinals. Tough one to take, but you got to take it. Fan, you got to take the losses with the wins too. And get back into it next week. And I'll be back for week 9 of Season of the Fan 2014 Philadelphia Eagles. Hopefully it will be a win. Hopefully next week I'll have my Eagles light up hat on after the game. But anyhow, I will see you then. And as always, go Eagles! And I'll see you in week 9 against the Houston Texans, the J.J. Watts. All right, see you then.